Um, I actually have no idea where I'm going to end up at this point. I mean, it obviously looks like it's starting over, but it should dump me at my last save. I can't remember where my last save is. I guess it was maybe at um, the platform station. Anyway, I did a pretty interesting thing, which was to fly straight up into the sky without boosters. I made it out to the debris field, was able to mine a bit, and then was able to use the boosters to try and get back to the grave. Before that, I somehow managed to spit myself out into hyperspace without a hyperdrive, made my way back, and aha! Yup, that is exactly what happened. Wow. That is the funniest thing ever. And you know, I don't even know, you know what it is, it's saved here, but my ship's over there. Wow, that is far out. Okay, I'm going to record, and I'm going to go ahead and do this, because it was really interesting. I was just about able to reach my grave without bypass chip. It's okay. I mean, I could probably make one, but I wouldn't use it on that. Of course, you never know. Oh, wow. I don't know what... Oh! Yeah, that looks like a big caterpillar. But it has good cargo. Just for fun, though, I'm going to show you how much these things cost. Ouch. Okay. I like the one before this better, visually. Oh, this one kind of has, like, gravitational thingies. Anyway... We're not going to try to buy anything. We're going to make an offer on the ship and take a look at what we've got on offer. 21 slots. It's pretty good. And look at the cost. That's right. You know what I need to start doing, though, is keeping a log of cost for slots. Simple as that, because that's going to be part of what determines when I finally buy a ship. So I'm going to grab a paper and do just that. I guess maybe I'll use a note card for the moment. Pardon my wandering around the room. So these platform stations are great places to encounter a range of ships and do some comparative shopping. I guess basically window shopping. You know what? I need to do it in my notebook. That's what my notebook is for. So, you know, one thing I realize is that once I find a planet that feels like home, ideally close to here for now, I'm going to settle in and really explore that planet, because I don't like the desolation of this world, but I like how the Sentinels treat me, and I like the mix of flora and fauna, and it's really been a pretty good place to get started. So I essentially need someplace similar that I don't mind staying for a little bit, so that I can develop a nest egg. All right, so let's do this. Ship comparative. What? I can't write. COMP ship costs. And this sample is 824K. For 21 slots. That's really all it comes down to. 21S. A little later on I'll get out the calculator and see what that breaks down to. But for now, we're going to get back. Oh, there's a nice one. See, they come and they go. They come and they go. If I wait a couple minutes, another one will come. It's very interesting. Maybe I should do that. I mean, why not? We haven't really messed with this. Tell you what. Let's hang out for a minute. I don't have anything to sell. I don't have anything to buy. I certainly now know that I don't need to be buying, and I even knew this from watching the videos, but forgot. Once you get into orbit, Thamium 9 is not a problem because most of the debris up there, they look like asteroids, but they're in freaking orbit. You know, that's an interesting thought. We're going to have to think about that. So every planet I've seen has a debris cloud around it made of asteroids, made of small asteroids, and most of that material is Thamium 9, which I don't even know yet whether or not is a real element. If it's not, oh, see, there's, ouch! I feel like a ship just landed on me or something. What's going on? Someone shoot me? What the hell? Aha! I think a ship did just land on me. Those are identical. That's bizarre. Wow, this one's like not even there. Mining Overseer Fat. So let's see what we got. That's a cool looking ship. You know, the look is well, the windows are part of it. But above all, the biggest deal is the slots and size. Come on. Are the slots and size. 24 slots, 1 mil 5. Yeah, that's right. 1 5 for 24 slots. You know what it'll be possible to do eventually is kind of come up with, I wanted to see that. I suspect that ship showed up because it was identical and this one landed on my head. Anyway, it should eventually be possible to come up with a cost per slot. And that should make it much easier to evaluate individual ships. You know, hanging out on a platform like this would be a really good way to price ships and figure out what the deal was. So, I need to find a platform station like this. You guys gonna take off. And just camp out for a while and explore in terms of looking at the ships. That is a beauty, though. Anyway, I mean, you'll see these on the space stations, but aha! All right. Oh, that one looks exactly the same as the other one. Let's see if it's any different at all. Yeah. Okay. Fun. It was great. You guys gonna take off just because I'm an idiot? Come on. All right. La la. Yep, he took off. That's ridiculous. Okay, that was embarrassing. Yep, there he goes. Bye-bye. Well, they seem to come every couple minutes. Anyway, this is a distraction. I'll do one more, and then I'll take off. Anyway, it would be nice to be able to arrive at a cost per slot, because it all comes down to storage. And then you can compare apples and apples, compare the ships, and really evaluate their worth, balancing what they look like. Because, I mean, it matters to a certain extent. Yes, most of the ships here look kind of dorky in certain ways. I actually kind of like, I'm growing a little bit sort of fond of the dorkiness of the ships. They're like, I don't know, they're like kind of retro. They're like 70s Chris Foss ships or something. Anyway, your ship is also a reflection of you, of your personality. You see it every time you come back. And the more it can store, of course, the better off you're going to do, better off you're going to be. And of course, no one's coming now. This is going to be really boring to watch. Aha! I don't want one like that, although it'll be useful to compare slots. Work Gek. What do we got? I like Geks. I really like Geks. I like being in a Gek system. I might make my home here. Gex are one aspect that I really don't mind. 500,000 for 19 slots. What I suspect is that there's a bit of an algorithmic ramp to it. Okay. Alright, that's enough. I wish we could see one more large ship. Although it's obviously arbitrary. I mean, the number of slots. You know, not a single one has ended up over here yet. It's obviously a bit arbitrary. Oh, yeah. That's because I didn't save. Because there isn't a flag. So if it crashes again when I go into space and come back down to find my grave, there's not much I'm going to be able to do about it. 4 hours away by land. If you go into orbit, you can get there much faster. And now I've discovered that you really don't need Thomium 9 to get into orbit. You just need a tiny bit of patience. And pretty quickly you can mine everything that you need. Come on. I wonder what the rate of visitation is here. Oh, that's an interesting one. Alright, this will be the last one we look at. Yep. I saw one earlier that was asymmetrical, and I am a big sucker for asymmetry, so... You know, these kind of look like ships that Dave Gibbons had a part in, in designing, so... Come on, bud. 19 slots, 500,000. That is pretty standard. Fascinating. What's interesting about it also is that you are running into ships an order of magnitude more expensive than the money you've got. I don't know how consistent that is. We'll find out. All right. Let's get this party started. Ah, shoot. I need to work on my landings. All right, here's the deal. Watch this. Piece of cake. Using up that precious, precious Thomium. Tell you what, just for fun, I will... recharge it with this even. Now I'm out of Thomium. At this moment I'm out of Thomium, right? Great. Okay, here we go. So, uh-oh, where's my grave? Oh, good. Okay, 1 hour is what it says right now. But observe! 90 degrees. Oh, wow. That's kind of cool, actually. Let's do that just for fun. It'll take slightly longer, but it's pretty neat. There really are some interesting views that come in all this. By the way, another thing I like is the way your ship kind of crinkles and crackles around you as you're trying to fly the thing as it's falling apart. So that's coming into view. Atmosphere is slowly changing. If I look down, what I'm going to see is my grave is probably not much closer. A few minutes, it's adjusting, but 90 is where I want to be. Perfect. 90 degrees, straight up, and very quickly the atmosphere gives way, and pretty soon you should see a major change in our situation. Oh, that's interesting. There we go. I assume the type of blaster is going to switch on me once I can see the asteroids and debris. God, that... aha! Now I'm in the system, and there come asteroids. So at first the asteroids come on pretty quickly. But then they kind of slow down for you. And then, what's the deal? Why is that not working? That's a little weird. I could have sworn phase cannon. Press X to activate. That's weird. Something's up. It's not working. Aha! Okay, it's working anyway. And there we go. So this is something that we've seen from others finally reaching their atmosphere. It's quite easy to mine, but what's interesting about it in this case is that I didn't have to use my boosters to do it. Which is helpful. And pretty quickly I should have all the material I need. It's really weird. I'm not sure why it's not... This is a different type of weapon than I had earlier. Let's take a look. Find our grave. Where's our grave? Uh-oh. That's a little weird. Where's our grave? That's a little... There it is. Okay. Great. See how we're doing. Whoops. Well, we've got plenty of energy. Ooh, jeez. It is a little unnerving, isn't it? I mean, even though, you know, they burst into pieces and then soon they're gone. To see them kind of spinning around like that is something else. So anyway, this is quite possible. And it's cool. What I'm needing to do now is make my way to this. Aim myself roughly in its direction. Now, I also should make sure I have as much of this stuff as I want, because I'm going to need it later. I find it fascinating how the stuff just kind of disappears into a, you know, a mass of debris. Thamium 9 looking pretty good. Yeah, I'll get a little bit more. There we go. Great. Yeah, I don't know where my other gun went. I'm going to have to look into it. But I am determined to make it to my grave before leaving. So, let's take these guys out. Low-hanging fruit. Yeah, I just don't know. Why is this not working? Huh, very weird. At least it still works. Certainly, oh shit. God, those guys freak me out. Here I go, I'm gonna go for it. Planetary interference, alright. Those guys freak me out primarily because they could quite possibly be pirates. If they are, I'm screwed. There's nothing I can do. Certainly not outfitted in this baby. So, it's really interesting. Alright. Heading down. Shouldn't take long. Once I'm getting close enough to do this, I'll feel interference. Make sure... Huh. Well, probably have enough. given that I know I can do this anytime and I don't have to use the boosters, I obviously have enough. Like, you don't even necessarily need thromium. It's all about your patience. Pulse engine offline. Interesting. All right, let's dive. There we go. I can feel it. Oh, that is interesting. I dare say that could be the station I left. And these, you're kidding me. That's impossible. These could actually be stations, like cities, but that's, you know, I mean, obviously that's a little bit specious. Okay, so I can see the, oh, come on. Huh, that's weird. That's really kind of cool to be able to see the stations. I wonder what all you can see, you know? That's a shame. I guess I needed to be up higher. 1 hour, that's a little long. It's not gonna work. All right, I gotta get back up there again. So it seems like what I'm gonna need to do, I was hoping we would find one of the big ones, because it would be cool to show you what happens with those. I mean, you've probably seen it by now, but we're gonna give it a try. No! Oh, I don't know how that worked. That's the gun I wanted. What's going on? Jesus! This is a bit much. Shoot. 38 minutes, still too long. As you can see, I was chewing my way through that asteroid, and now it's gone. There we go. I don't know how I turn that thing on, I have to confess. But as you can see, it's a very effective way to do asteroid mining. I mean, you can do some sculptural work. Asteroid spaceship, not far away. Oh, interesting. Oh, I got that chromium. Let's do this. There we go. Oh, nickel. Oh, gosh. I haven't seen any nickel at all yet, so I'm gonna grab a bunch. Oh my gosh, wow. Right. Okay. So where is my grave? I can't believe I'm doing all this just to reach my grave from like a version of the game that no longer exists. But I'm really curious to see, because that's what we, you know, if you look at the very earliest test videos I did yesterday, come on, how can there be planetary interference? That's impossible. All right, that's really weird. Well, I'll keep heading up. The distances are really something else. So basically, apparently, you know, if you're in the atmosphere, it doesn't work, and you know, the atmosphere is very wide. It'd be nice if I could pull this off. All right, I gotta do this. Come on. This is for posterity. Haha. Oh, interesting. All right, fine. Let's try it again. Okay, so as long as you're aimed at your sight, you can do it. and pull up. Yep, look at those. I'll be danged. You can see. Ah! Come on. Jeez. $7 minutes. For heaven's sakes. So plenty of bases. One of these I need to set down because I did at least successfully manage to re-enter the atmosphere. 8 minutes is a bit long. The reason that I, discovered this is that I was trying to avoid. I had remembered that if you're higher in the atmosphere, you can make your way to an orbital location more quickly. So I tried to get up high enough to do so, and that was the result. I learned a few interesting things, but I'm still not at this mythical location. Let's try to go a little higher. I'm not sure if it's worth doing or not. Sorry this is taking longer than anticipated. 17 minutes? What? Come on. Alright, here's the deal. I'm going to try it again. Make sure I have the boost to do it. Pulse engine looks good. I'm going to try it. Presumably if you aim at your target... pardon me, please. I'm sorry about that. Alright, what was the normal boost? Let's just try that. The thing that I didn't want to do because it took me too fast. Fire, attack, jump, reload, run, look. Oh yeah, starship control. Pulse drive, L1. Interesting. Huh. Aha! No, that's a roll. Nope. Okay. Let's see if I can get below it. Nope. Unfortunate. I will be glad to be done with this planet. Come on. For heaven's sakes. Huh. I guess you have to be high enough to do it. And I don't know how else I can accelerate. Maybe that's an acceleration. Ah, it is maybe. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Good. So there's a bit of a speed increase there. Still several minutes. The distances are impressive in a depressing sort of way. It's good that it does its best to kind of simulate them, and that you've got different engines for different sort of levels of the game, different speeds for different levels of the game, etc., etc. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can talk about right now, lore-wise. So it seems clear that I'm an organic being, at least at core. It still makes sense to me that I am deeply tied up in, deeply enmeshed in my technology. Uh-oh, what? Oh, there it is. Maybe I should try to land at one of these stations. When I get to a minute, I'll do so because I do need to save my location in case I crash when I leave the planet again. So there's something to that, I definitely think. There's something to the rock, paper, scissors sort of evolutionary compression of the three different species. And I think both of those things can lead a little bit to questions about my nature, what I am, what I'm doing, why I'm here, etc. Looking for a good base to land at. Oh, that's interesting. 3 minutes out. Of course, we don't know how far it is lower down. It's pretty, in its way, in its sort of desolate way. All right, there we go. Let's do it. Three hours? For God's sakes. I don't really care if the video cuts out. I'm just going to go ahead and play and chat about it. I really need to... Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, dude. Do you see those caves? Do you see those caves? That's right up my alley, unfortunately. Damn it. That's amazing. And do you see this giant chunk of what perhaps is like silver or something over there? I don't know. It's interesting. It's obviously all generated. Yeah, that's something. I think that is a giant freaking chunk of silver. Well, or some. I'm gonna go find out. Okay, here's the deal. I don't want to do this right now. Like, I can't do this on the video. I'm gonna explore for a while. Look at that. Oh my gosh. What boggles my mind is these are places you could absolutely come back to if you could find them again. And you know what? The way to do that is a grave. So, I need to kind of experiment. Hello! Experiment with, oh yeah, I might be able to pick up a new piece of gear here. I forgot about that. What was I going to experiment with again? Combat amplifier. Oh, mining beam damage increased during combat. That's actually potentially handy. That's kind of handy. Because then I don't have to use that stupid gun. Existing laser functionality is improved by precision optics and beam amplification. More efficient user aggression. Interesting. Spawn. Gek spawn. Okay. Going to write it down. I should totally, you know what? I'm going to die here. I think I'm going to let myself die here so that I can get back here if I ever wanted to. Is this a market? It is. Oh yeah, one of these patterns. 9780, 9780, 9780, 9780. I like these. These are my speed. The Gek like me. I'm down with that. I don't ever have what they need, so I'm not going to worry about it. That's okay. Alright. Here's the deal. I haven't gotten to show you the grave. It's far away. I really want to check that out. I don't know why, because I have all the things I need. You know what? I have what I need. I didn't check how much that Corleone is worth. I'm sure I don't need it, and it might bring me like $100,000 or something. Units, whatever. Let's find out. Ah, sorry. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What's up? Why not? What's going on? This is not apparently... Huh. It's not a market. That's really weird. Why would that not be? Alright, looks like a market, and it's not. It's unfortunate. 55 minutes. Ridiculous. I was 3 minutes away. God, I can't get sucked in. Look at that, though. Alright, I'm gonna die. I need to die here. Here's the deal. I'm going to shut down this transmission. You know what oh gosh, dilemmas. So I want to explore that. It's just a cave. It'll be there on every other planet I'm, exploring. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to go there. I'm 3 minutes away from my first grave. That's worth it, though. I'm totally going to save this. There's this giant chunk of material over there. I'm going to turn off the feed for now. Check in later. If my grave is interesting, I'll check in then. Otherwise later. Whatever.